These are the patients. You can see this is doctor's room.
Era bano swani netoro wait. Kimu kyakuna kubereka emmere leeta amaanyi.
Mweno program tugenda batukutuusaako abasawo abakugu ab'enjawulo.
Oxygen will then come from the bag to the patient.
Afuna kibayita cardiac arrest or heart attack. Bakwayo obukerenda.
You can see the compartment for antimalarials.
Abalwadde ba sukaali ne pressure tebalya masavu ga bisu.
Ebyo byonna mweno program obulamu zaabu.
Would you like to help solve the development challenges facing our country? Come to Ndejje University and learn to create self-sustaining projects for your future. Our expert lecturers are ready to equip you to become an engineer to design effective processing machines, or an agribusiness entrepreneur to implement such technologies for food processing. Even a software developer to create mobile apps that can help market the products. We even provide you with the entrepreneurship skills to effectively manage the value chain in your line of business. And all that action happens on an area spanning 700 acres with the best facilities on 2 campuses in Luero and Mango, serving both undergraduate and postgraduate courses. We also have courses sponsored by the Higher Education Student Loan Scheme. Apply online at admissions.ndu.ac.ug or pick applications from any of our campuses. Call the numbers below for inquiries. Ndejje University. Come experience a holistic approach to learning.
Get noticed, advertise with us. Call 0714-474-433 or 0759-728-168 to place your bookings now. Ndejje University TV is available on free-to-air, Go TV and Your TV. Follow us on Facebook, Ndejje TV Live, Twitter at Ndejje TV Live, Instagram, Ndejje TV Live, and you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ndejje University TV. Ndejje University TV, your source of knowledge and wisdom.
Coming up in Live at 8, take leadership as a responsibility, not privilege. Reverend Geoffrey Mwanguzi to the newly elected guild leaders. General Museveni commissions first ever and upgrade Russian-type helicopter in sub-Saharan Africa. Harmonize pay for public servants, MPs task government. And in sports, Victoria Series enters day 2 with wins for Uganda, United Arab Emirates and Tanzania. This and much more in Live at 8. Welcome, this is Live at 8. My name is ANSLEM OJARU with the news in details. The deputy chaplain at Ndejje University, while congratulating the newly elected leaders at the university, urged them to see leadership as a responsibility and not as a privilege. Let's take a look.
Just a week ago, we celebrated the Last Supper, which our Lord Jesus Christ had and shared with his 12 disciples. This message touches my heart when I think about leadership. I want, therefore, to congratulate my brothers, my sisters, the guild president and his team, and all the people that have been chosen to provide leadership for this great university. Remember, leadership is responsibility, not privilege. Leadership is responsibility, not privilege. There is a common false saying which we often take up. It is in Luganda, and it says, "Too good them be into." It is a common saying when people take up leadership positions. People think in terms of falling into things, getting an opportunity to eat of the things. But I want to remind you that leadership is responsibility and not privilege. This Jesus demonstrated in the event of the Lord's Supper, which we have just recently concluded. We celebrated it on the Holy Maundy Thursday, when we came together to remember the first Holy Communion, the first Lord's Supper, which was served a day before the Passover, the Jewish Passover. I want to remind you something that happened. According to John chapter 13, praise the Lord. Jesus Christ in verse 2 up to verse 6, only 4 verses that I want to use. What happens? Jesus and his disciples were at supper. So it's about eating. Now the appetite may be arising as a leader, and you are saying, Jesus sat with his disciples and they were for supper. But that is not the message of this message. The message in this message says, the devil had already put into the heart of Judas, the son of Simon, the thought of betraying Jesus. Amongst the leaders was one who the devil was ready to use. These things happen. They happened to Jesus. So I start with a warning, my brother, that while you are in that leadership responsibility, the devil is prowling around like a lion, ready to devour you, not anybody else. The devil is planning to devour you, to eat you. And the mission is not a mission of restoration. It is a mission of betrayal. And I want therefore to warn you, be careful. The devil, Mr. Leader, Mr. Guild President, Your Excellency, and all our team of leaders, the devil is prowling around. His mission that he is ready to execute at any point is that you betray the team, is that you betray the university, is that you betray the electorate that has chosen you. Those that have put their trust in you expect a lot, and they expect positive things. They don't expect you to fall into things. They expect you to distribute the things. Do what you have been called to do. Encourage and draw others to love the ministry of leadership, that they will celebrate with you. I want to remind you, the gentleman that did all this had the authority. But 3 days later, this same gentleman who humbled himself rose as a son of God. You will be blessed. This is my message for you leaders this morning, and I ask all of us to support them. All of us to commune at the table of fellowship with them, to encourage them and to build them up. This is God's message to you this morning. I want to encourage you, be useful to our university. Look forward to the glory of this university, but you will benefit at the end of the day. May the Lord bless you and encourage you at such a time. Thank you for being leaders. We shall support you. We shall continue praying for you. The chaplaincy is ready to welcome you for support. God bless you.
The Commander-in-Chief of the Uganda People's Defense Forces, General Yoweri Museveni, has commissioned into flight the first ever and upgraded Russian-type helicopter in sub-Saharan Africa at the ProHeli Plant International Services Limited at Nakasongola Air Base. Sarah Chirabo with more on that story.
General Museveni, who on arrival toured one of the hangars at the facility led by the CEO of ProHeli International Services Limited, noted that there was no convergence of interest as there was no problem between Russia and Uganda as well as the African continent. He therefore stressed that the partnership with ProHeli is a healthy one and describing it as that of common sense.
We have never had a problem with Russia. Russia has never had a problem with us. And they want freedom in their own area. So our interests converge. So I'm very glad that I want to congratulate President Putin for stabilizing Russia and strengthening it again. Now, these partnerships, like with ProHeli, is common sense. Because there is big demand here. We have got these helicopters, the fixed wing, they need maintenance, they need overhaul, they need upgrading. So, which is better, to do it there or here? Yeah, so common sense.
He also welcomed the idea of the general electronic countermeasures for self-protection when in the air. General Museveni further supported all the measures and plans ProHeli proposed to have other commercial aircraft serviced and maintained at the facility.
ProHeli are proposing that we should include the Sukhoi also to be overhauled here. I support it. We support it. So this is convenient for everybody, but also better economics. Because our labor costs here are lower. Those engineers, they're highly trained. Our education system is very strong. So those engineers are well trained. But they are not as expensive as the ones in Europe. I welcome the ideas which the general manager has of the ECM, the electronic countermeasures, the self-protection for the platforms.
President Museveni, however, urged ProHeli to get other investors in other areas that are non-military, like was done with the Chinese investors.
I support all the measures and all the plans, but you heard also what ProHeli said. They would also do for commercial, even for others, not only for military, even other commercial aircraft. Who want servicing, who want overhaul, they can come here. But also get us other investors. I tell the Russian delegation that they should also get us other investors in other areas, not only here in military, but even in non-military areas. Like with the Chinese, we work with them in the military, but also in the non-military fields. So there's no limit to our cooperation.
General Museveni again thanked the Russian government for not objecting to our cooperation but supporting it.
I thank the Russian government for not objecting to our cooperation and supporting it, and I thank our own side for enthusiastically taking advantage of this goodwill and building this capacity here.
The Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs, Honorable Vincent Ndejje, thanked General Museveni for his wise and wonderful leadership that has enabled Ugandans to see what is happening today in the forces. He also said many dignitaries, who include heads of state, have visited the facility and expressed their interest.
We have been coming to this place with the other ministers and the PS and our team to see exactly what is going on. And we now know the difference between servicing of a helicopter, full service, overhaul. We know all of these things. We have also known that you can upgrade an asset, the helicopter, or another aircraft. We have been here and we have seen what these people have been doing.
The Chief of Defense Force, General Wilson Mbadi, pointed out the major benefits of the facility that include, among others, self-resilience and combat readiness. He added that the facility will promote defense diplomacy as other countries will be utilizing the services of the plant.
With this facility, we are now able to offer technical services for sustainment of our air assets of the Ministry of Defense and other clients within Africa and beyond. Indeed, they are already showing interest. For us who have been moving around, they have been asking about this facility, and Your Excellency, remember the guests that you've been guiding us to send here. The President of Mozambique came here. The Minister of Defense of DRC came here. The Chief of Defense Forces of Mali, he came here. And the Chief of Defense Forces of DRC, represented by one of his officers, they have been visiting here and they are getting interested.
Brigadier General David Gony, who stood in for the Commandant of the Air Force, General Okidi, highlighted many advantages the plant is to offer that include giving the Air Force short time of service and will also support industrialization policy and the country's economy.
Air Forces has been overhauling helicopters, and it would take about 2 years minimum. And like the MD NEC told us, 1 year and 3 months would be a record time for the first time. So I want to believe that the follow-up helicopters may be done in less than 1 year.
Others present at the function included the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Defense, Madame Rosette Biengoma, a delegation of Russian experts on aviation, officials from Russian embassy, chiefs, as well as senior officers of UPDF. Salah Chidabo, live at 8.
Thank you, Sarah Chirabo. On Tuesday, the House, chaired by the Deputy Speaker, Thomas Tayebwa, tasked government to harmonize service, to harmonize civil servants' pay, and institute a salary and institute a pay and institute servants' pay and you pro. Let's take a look at the story. The appeal of harmonizing salaries follows a statement by the Minister of State for Finance, Planning and Economic Development for General Duties, Honorable Henry Musasizi, on payment of salaries for scientists under the Uganda Prison Service. The minister said the concerns of non-payment of a section of scientists in government department and especially the Uganda Prison Service may be due to the respective terms of employment specified in their appointment letters. This, he said, would be elaborated on the Public Service and Internal Affairs Ministries. However, the legislators challenged the idea of an enhanced payment for scientists, describing it as demoralizing and a source of undue animosity. Honorable Joseph Sewungu opposed the idea of segregating civil servants based on their inclinations, being arts or science. He urged that salary should instead be set based on one's qualifications.
This business of segregating civil servants is unfair. Secondly, why don't you recruit more civil servants into civil service other than looking at one side of science teachers, scientists alone? As we talk now, no speaker, let us look at the results of senior 4, primary 7, and look at the performance. They are all affected as a result of segregation between those who teach science and those who teach arts. And we cannot continue as parliament to accept this. We fought it, we refused it, but cabinet and ministers are still confirming the same.
The district woman representative of Amuria, Honorable Susan Amero, advised that government set salaries for public services based on academic qualification.
Why they have peace in their pensions and salary and everything is because they award it according to the qualification. And we told the minister here, as they're working on the salaries, the salary increments, that let's give salary according to the qualification. If you're a certificate holder, you earn according to the certificate holder across board. If you're a master's holder, it's master's across board. Why would we segregate?
Honorable Dan Atijukire said that even within similar professions, there are discrepancies in salaries, citing the difference in salaries of the Executive Director of Mulago National Referral Hospital, Uganda Cancer Institute, and the Uganda Heart Institute.
I think we need serious harmonization. Apart from science teachers, Regional Speaker, on 9th March 2023, Public Service wrote to 3 institutions, that is Mulago National Referral Hospital, Cancer Institute, and Heart Institute. And it wrote to them approving their structures. In that structure, the Executive Director of Mulago gets 15 million. The Executive Director of Heart Institute gets 39 million. The Executive Director of Cancer Institute gets 25 million. The driver for the Executive Director Mulago gets 200,000. The driver for a driver of Cancer Institute gets 1.7 million. And it applies to Cancer Institute driver. The secretary of the ED to Mulago earns 700,000. The secretary of ED Heart Institute and Cancer Institute earns 2.7 respectively. Right, Honorable Speaker, the 2 institutions, Cancer Institute and Heart Institute, were born by Mulago. And I'm not saying that they are getting a lot of money. But if we are saying, we have been talking about rationalization, and with the major aim of streamlining salaries and promoting equity across. How do you expect the ED of Mulago to earn 15, this one earn 39, and then you expect no demonstrations of doctors at Mulago, you expect efficiency, you expect morale to go high, and it is the same public service that is trusted with rationalization. Are they rational in doing some of these things?
Enhancing salaries of one category of workers is discriminatory and must not be accepted. I'm talking from a background that I'm a scientist. I went to school, I did sciences. It is not true anywhere in the whole world that when you enhance only scientists, workers of government, that will cause the involvement of that nation. That is not true. The little that we have in this country must be shared equally and fairly. All workers in this country, regardless of the courses they went to at school, they must be paid based on their education levels, based on their experience, based on their outputs. That is very, very important. Not based on whether they are scientists or us or not.
In response, the Minister of Public Service, Honorable Wilson Mukasa, said that the salary increment is being applied in a phased manner with budgetary considerations in play.
Yes, we have been here time and again about the discrepancies in pay. But I recall this House agreed that let's enhance pay for all public servants, but let's do it in phases. And this was determined not because we just want to make people suffer or more or less discomfort our civil servants. This was done because of the actual performance of our budget, our economy. And we agreed we are going to pay in phases, and we have started on this in earnest, and we've been paying in phases. But the pay principles which we agreed on really show equitability. And once we move as we are projecting, then we shall have an equitable pay which is harmonized and rationalized.
Under the 2018 agreement, government committed to increase salaries for public servants in a phased manner ending with the 2022-2023 financial year. ANSLEM OJARU, live. And in sports, the second edition of the Victoria Series, a cricket tournament featuring Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda and the United Arab Emirates started on Tuesday, and the tournament favorites achieved wins throughout the day. Let's take a look at the story.
17 not out.
The United Arab Emirates team started off their campaign with a 15-run win against Kenya despite 3 of their teammates being absent. Chaya Mohal led the team effectively and motivated them to perform well against a determined Kenyan side. Kenya struggled to score during power plays, managing only 22 for 2 with 1 boundary. Arab Emirates, on the other hand, performed better, scoring 37 for 2 with 4 boundaries in their innings. The hosts Uganda dominated their match against Rwanda in the afternoon fixture of day 1, with Irene Arumo and Evelyn Anyipo's fast bowling causing significant damage to the Rwandan top order that left them struggling at just 12 runs for 2 wickets after 6 overs. Uganda continued to apply pressure, resulting to Rwanda being bowled out for a mere 61 runs. The Victoria Paws won the game by 7 wickets, with player of the game Janet Mbabas posting an unbeaten 30 off 31 balls. Uganda limited Rwanda to 61 all-out, with Irene Orumo and Captain Kosi Oweko picking up 2 wickets each in the 4 overs respectively. Tanzania, on the other hand, beat United Arab Emirates by 7 wickets on Wednesday morning to register their first victory of the tournament. This result set up a mouth-watering clash between Uganda and United Arab Emirates in their next game on Thursday afternoon, as the host seeks to maintain her winning form while the Emirates are striving to avoid a second consecutive defeat. Thursday fixtures will also see Kenya take on Tanzania in the morning. Salah Chidabo, Aisharan Kiranda, live at 8.
6 runs.
Thank you for watching. That has been live at 8. My name is ANSLEM OJARU. See you next time.